Hello book nerds and computers, I'm Summer from Silver-Eyed-Fangirl, and today I'm going to teach you how to create your very own DIY Harry Potter wand! Woo! This is not a movie replica. This is just a design I liked and designed myself. This is good for Halloween, fancy dress parties, cosplay, photo shoots, if you're doing a bit of filming with wands, if you're doing a stage show with wands. This is a good DIY to make. It doesn't take very long. I think the longest part is an hour, and that's drying the sealant. So I'm gonna get along and show you how to create this. See ya! Okay, so here's what you're going to need. You're gonna need some nicely shaped twigs, and in a bit I will show you how to find them and cut them yourself. You'll also need this. It's called Deco Patch. It's a satiny sealing varnish. You could also use Mod Podge for this. You're also going to need an assortment of paints. So you can have any colour you want because it's your wand. You're also going to need some paintbrushes, and you're also going to need a hot glue gun and some glue gun sticks. Additional items will be some gardening shears, a electric sander and a electric saw or a hacksaw. So here we go with the first step. So here are our wand applicants. We got these from our front garden. A lot of them are from the front garden. I think all of them are from the front garden.
Everyone. Our hedge.
From our hedge.
Bush.
Bollyhush.
A bollyhush, yeah. Because it's shh. You don't tell anyone it's there.
So we got quite a few. We've got one here where it's curving it, but it's still quite straight one. We've got quite a few straight ones. The best ones to get are the straight ones. So now we're just gonna chop off the leaves and sand them down. Okay, for this step you're gonna need your gardening shears, and then we're going to trim off the bits of twig that we're not really bothered about for our wands. Also, a pointer, be careful with these. Make sure you have someone who is responsible around. So I don't know why I'm doing this, because I definitely don't have someone who's responsible. So here we go. So now we're going to cut off unnecessary bits that we don't really want on our twig, like tiny little branches and leaves and like really tiny bits that we really don't want on our wand. Tough little branches like this that won't cut. In a bit I will show you how to get rid of those. Now we are doing our bit for the environment, not just cutting these trees down. Make sure when you are finished, the bits that you don't want go into your recycling bin. Ours is this green one. And also make sure if you do have small dogs or any dogs like I do to pick up the very small bits just in case they try to get them. Here we are now in the small workroom. We've brought our twigs in, our pieces of wood that we're going to be using to make our wand, and any of the bits that we couldn't cut off or the sharp bits on it, we're going to sand them down. But first, because I have allergies and I think about safety first, we're going to put on some goggles and a mask so no dust gets in our eyes. Okay, so because this sander is going to be a bit loud, I'm going to be putting music over this section because I don't want the noise to break the camera. And because of the dust, the camera will be moved a bit further back, so yeah. Because sanders are quite expensive, if you don't have one, you can get regular sandpaper and you'll obviously sand it. This is what you can buy them like. And how much did they cost?
Yeah, a pack might cost anything from like a English pound.
Yeah. So all you do is the bits you don't really want, you can just hand sand them. Gives you a nice finish, the same finish as an electric sander. So just, there you go. You can use that as a cheaper alternative if you don't have one of these machines, or if they're too expensive for you. Also, if you have really tough bits that will not sand off at all, you can always use a hacksaw like this. Either you do it or an adult does it, and you can saw the bits off and then sand it down. Okay, so now we are going to size up one of our wands. The usual size for a perfect wand, really, for an adult is about 15 inches.
What's that in centimetres?
We'll say about 38 centimetres would be the nearest to it without going too far over. And then all we're going to do is measure that up next to it. Where the 15 inches come to, we're going to mark with a pencil, just a line, so that we know where to cut now. And we can move our tape measure away and take a electric saw. I'm not technical at all with these. Or you can, like I said before, use a hacksaw. So this is again going to be a lot of noise, so I'm going to use some music over the top. We have one wand shape, and then we will sand that down to the shape we want, and you can obviously cut as many as you want from that, as long as it's the right size. So now with this point, whatever pen you've got in your house, pen, pencil, whatever, you're going to take your chosen stick or twig and wrap your hand around it and draw just above your thumb, so that you've got where your handle's going to finish. So I'm going to do it about there. But don't worry about a pen mark, that will be covered in a bit. So that is a good handle for me. So now we're going to take our hot glue gun and put it on a surface that cannot be burned, and obviously plug it in and turn it on and wait for the glue to warm up. So now that we have marked where our handle is going to end, we can now take our hot glue gun and do a line around there to know where we've got to stop. now I need to add a glue stick into it. So here we go, we've added a new glue stick, and now we're going to continue. Now it looks more like a handle. At the moment you're just gonna wait till it's finished drying. See, this at the moment is still moldable. At this point you can, if you want to, mold it. Make sure you don't burn yourself because it is quite warm. The way you check if it is done and dry is by tapping the very last thing you glued, which for me was this end, and it's still quite bendy, so I'm going to leave it to dry for a little bit more. Another tip, if you're painting it, when you're painting it, is to get maybe a pair of pliers, something like that, or just hold it with your fingers to get to it all very easily. Now that our glue has dried, I actually stuck it in the fridge for a little bit, not too long, because the hot glue does dry quite fast. I'm going to take my paint. I'm going to be using black paint. What works best for this is either acrylic paint or like wall paint. That works as well. We're actually going to use this paintbrush. So I'm going to take my pliers so I don't get any paint on my hand and hold this wand like that, obviously, and just paint away. Leave that to dry, and while that's drying we can go and wash our paintbrush. So now when your wand is dry, you can either leave it like that, or if you want a more wood shine to it, we're going to take our decoupage sealing varnish and we're just going to paint a layer over it. Takes about an hour to dry, so we're gonna leave that for an hour. And here we go, our wand is done. This one will be perfect for a Death Eater or a Slytherin or anything. Remember, this is all your own preparation. You don't have to do the bumps like I've done. You can do any design at all and any colour you want at all. And here are some other colours and handle shapes that you can do. So yeah, this one's a white one with just like a typical Harry Potter looking design on. This one is a brown one with some crisscross patterns on, and obviously you've just seen me make this one here. was my DIY Harry Potter wand tutorial. I hope you like it. If you want any more tutorials on how to make things, please give me a comment and let me know what you would like to find out. You know, what would you like as a DIY, and I'll be sure to try and do that as cheap as possible. Also, I would like to come back with some cosplay tips, you know, cosplay makeup tutorials maybe, just loads of things cosplay, because I am getting back into cosplay and I'm very excited. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, don't forget your local library, and keep reading. Bye! And here are... Beans are done.